People clash in classrooms, in families, and online every day. But since when has disagreement been a reason to draw blood? One of the greatest parts of being human is sharing our own voice, and one of the saddest failures is confusing another's voice with a personal attack that must be crushed forever. Think about the time you lost your temper because someone simply wouldn't see it your way. Maybe it was over music, politics, or which movie deserved an award. At that moment, your blood boiled, but did you gain anything after? Probably not. The win would have come if you learned something, not if you forced silence. Murder cuts off the only chance of progress, listening to what the other perspective might reveal. It's easy to think violence is power. In fact, we hear it often in movies and history's darker tales, someone thinking that striking down their rival ends the conflict. But does it? Violence leaves behind grief, scars, and a trail of brokenness that doesn't vanish with the victim. Killing doesn't erase another's opinion. It only proves the killer couldn't defend their own with strength of thought. Imagine someone saying your favorite food is disgusting. Would you feel justified in flipping the table in harmful rage? Of course not. You'd probably argue, laugh, or just say, well, I love it anyway. Opinions are flavors in the giant menu of human thought. Murdering because of taste is absurd, but so is thinking that an opposing worldview deserves the ultimate penalty. Throughout history, we've seen bright voices silenced because someone thought opposing ideas were too dangerous to exist. Certain leaders, artists, and thinkers were hunted or killed simply for thinking differently. But here's the irony. Every time their killers tried to bury them, their ideas grew louder. You cannot murder a thought. Thoughts bend and flow into others. But you can murder trust, peace, and shared smiles. Every disagreement, big or small, is secretly training us in patience. Think of two children fighting over the same toy. A parent steps in and says, "Now share." The lesson is clear. Life will always give us rivals for what we want, but rarely will life excuse cruelty as a solution. Adults who kill over opinion show they never truly grew past that nursery lesson. I once knew someone who detested my sense of humor. They rolled their eyes every time I spoke. In the beginning, it stung, but eventually, I realized their dislike held no power unless I fed it with anger. Murder would have been unthinkable. It would have erased the chance for both of us to evolve. Years later, that same person admitted they had learned to like my style. Imagine the small ripple of patience that created. When we lose patience, we see only red, and red tends to bleed into outcomes no one can clean up. Families remain without sons, siblings without each other. Over what? A difference of opinion that could have been solved by walking outside or taking a few breaths. The major tragedy is how small the cause often is when compared to the irreversible effect. Next time you face a clash, ask yourself, do I want to win this moment, or do I want to build a future I won't regret? Murder hands you a victory made of ashes. Survival of your morals is the only true win. When you examine a friendship or a marriage, disagreements are always there, like pebbles along the pathway. Some trips are rougher than others. If people left every relationship because of difference, we'd walk life alone. So why do some people think killing is the reply to differences between strangers when we live daily with differences in those we love? That inconsistency shows how twisted anger can become if left unchecked. One day you could be the person holding the wrong opinion in someone else's eyes. Should that mean your life should end? The answer is clear: no. Every life has equal weight. Murdering someone for their stance is equally murdering the future opportunities they could have touched, teaching children, writing books, or simply inspiring kindness. Opinions are like seeds. Some sprout into trees that shade us. Some die quietly in the soil. Few stand permanently unchallenged. Killing tries to scorch the garden of thought, but it only proves cowardice to engage naturally in debate. A truly strong mind picks up discussion like a gardener picks weeds. It's tedious, but brings more beauty in the end. Think about societies that lived under tyrants, where disagreeing meant disappearing. Those regimes crumbled eventually, leaving only ruins of fear. Because no matter how much force you apply, the human spirit aches for freedom and fairness. Murder for dissent only delays progress. It never destroys it. Let's admit something human: anger is natural. We all fantasize sometimes about striking down someone who has insulted us or misrepresented us. The imagination may flash dark images, but that's where discipline comes in. Civilization rests on the bridge between what we feel and what we choose. Murder is the collapse of that bridge, a fall into chaos. Teaching ourselves to pause isn't weakness, it's training for wisdom. Imagine playing a sport. The real test isn't your speed, but your restraint in knowing when to pass, when to shoot, when to wait. In disagreements, restraint is the higher move. Life is fragile, and every murder over opinion is like smashing the world's most priceless sculpture just because you dislike the artist. Who chooses senseless destruction over simply walking away? And yet, this is what happens when anger overrules humanity. We all want to live in communities where kids can grow up saying what's on their mind without fear. Every murder built on disagreement teaches the opposite, that you should silence yourself to avoid violence. Is that the world you want to raise your family in? Probably not. Do we not all crave to be understood, even if not agreed with? Murder denies someone the dignity of being explained, debated, or perhaps even halfway appreciated later. A thought silenced by violence might be the very thought that could have saved lives had it been allowed to grow. Some use murder as intimidation, hoping others keep silent. But silence under violence isn't agreement, it's fear. That type of agreement satisfies no progress and builds no bridges. Fear collapses societies inside out until mistrust is the only common language. Why not turn disagreement into a theater of learning instead? Imagine gathering around, hearing why someone believes what they do, and measuring it against your own stance. Isn't it braver to challenge each other with words than to end each other with weapons? The truth is, murder because of opinion is one of the lowest forms of self-destruction. You don't just erase another person, you tarnish your entire life with regret, guilt, and punishment. Guilty or not, the mirror will never forgive you. Think of all the energy humanity loses each year when people fall to violence. That wasted potential could have written songs, healed diseases, or grown laughter. Every life stolen for difference is an invention unborn, a love never met, or a conversation that could have healed someone's pain. Asking yourself, what will matter more to me in 10 years? This argument or this person's existence often gives clarity. Anger fades like storm clouds. Murder leaves permanent weather. Which do you want to endure? The wisdom we pass down to youth often reflects our actions more than our words. If a child sees adults kill over disputes, they learn killing is valid currency. But if they watch adults clash, argue, then break bread together, they learn how peace is built. Which lesson truly builds a future? Being part of humanity means carrying differing opinions as luggage. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's light. Yet never is it a reason to eject someone from life's train. They too are travelers. And once they are gone, so is the chance for their voice to inspire your own growth. So what's the major lesson? Every argument is an opportunity, not a threat. Murder closes the door on that opportunity forever. Arguments test the compassion in us. If handled right, they grow into understanding. If handled wrong, they grow into tragedy. Thank you for watching, for caring enough to sit through words that matter. Subscribe, share, and comment with your voice. Disagreement should fuel conversation, not graves. Be part of our global team by sharing your stories of how differences shaped you. Together we can remind the world, no opinion is worth a life. Hello, this is Dr. San Jose, and thank you for watching this vid. If you'd like to learn more about self-investment or share your experiences, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and share this article with others who might find it informative. Be part of our global team by sharing your experiences with self-investment. What strategies have worked for you? What challenges have you faced? Let's learn from each other and grow together.